The East River reeked of rust and decay. Maya Chen stood at the pier's edge, rain hammering her hospital scrubs, sneakers drowning in puddles. 28 years old and expelled for a crime she didn't commit. Her roommate had stolen her student ID, cheated, destroyed everything. The scholarship girl from Chinatown. Nobody believed her. The black water below promised an end. I wouldn't if I were you. Maya whipped around. A man in a soap designer suit swayed 20 feet away, blood streaming from his temple. His white shirt bloomed crimson where he gripped his side. That water's filthy, he said, voice strained. You'll die of infection before drowning. Who are you? Someone who just got shot. He stumbled forward. Someone who needs help. Instinct overrode despair. Maya caught him before he collapsed. Up close, his face was all sharp angles, dark hair plastered to pale skin, eyes like whiskey in lamplight. Gunshot wound, she assessed. Through and through. You need a hospital. No hospitals. His grip tightened on her arm. They'll find me. Finish what they started. Who? People I trusted. His laugh cut through the rain. People I gave everything to. Maya pressed her freezing hand against his wound. His blood ran hot. You'll die without treatment. Then I die. He locked eyes with her. But you don't. Whatever brought you here tonight, it's not worth it. Trust me. Something in his desperation cracked her open. Here was a dying man worried about a stranger. I was a nursing student, she said. Until yesterday. Then save me. His stare pierced through her. Give me one reason why either of us should survive tonight, and I'll give you 1,000 reasons to keep living. Rain fell between them like a curtain. Maya made her choice. My apartment. 6 blocks from here. Can you walk? He nodded, then nearly collapsed. She caught him, wrapped his arm over her shoulders, took his weight. They stumbled through empty streets, 2 ghosts fleeing something worse than death. Her studio was small, cluttered with textbooks she'd never open again. Maya laid him on her bed, grabbed her medical kit from the clinic days. This will hurt, she warned. Everything hurts. When she cleaned the wound, his jaw clenched white. What's your name? Maya Chen. I'm Ethan. He paused. Ethan Cross. Her hands froze. The Ethan Cross? Cross Technologies? The one everyone thinks is dead right now. His smile was grim. My business partner, James. He's been embezzling for years. I found out today. Called a board meeting. He showed up with a gun instead. Maya's mind raced as she stitched him with steady hands. Ethan Cross was a legend. Billionaire at 32, genius programmer who revolutionized cybersecurity. And someone had tried to murder him. Why not go to the police? Because half my security team was in on it. I don't know who to trust. He caught her hand. Except you. You were going to jump, weren't you? She couldn't lie. Yes. What changed? You needed me. Her voice cracked. No one's needed me in so long. Ethan pulled her closer despite the pain. Then we save each other. Deal? Before she could answer, her apartment door exploded inward. 3 men in tactical gear flooded in, guns drawn. The lead man's eyes locked on Ethan. Mr. Cross. James sends his regards. Ethan pushed Maya behind him, wounded and weaponless, still shielding her. Run, he whispered. But Maya had already grabbed the scalpel from her medical kit. Not a chance. She threw it with precision she didn't know she had. It buried itself in the lead man's shoulder. He roared, gun clattering. Ethan moved despite his wound, tackling the second gunman. They crashed through her coffee table, glass exploding everywhere. The third man aimed at Maya. "Don't move, girl." Everything slowed. She saw her meaningless life about to end in a studio apartment that smelled like antiseptic and rain. Then Ethan was there, taking the bullet meant for her. He went down hard. "Ethan!" Maya screamed. The gunman advanced, but sirens wailed outside. Someone must have heard the door crash. The three men exchanged glances and fled through the fire escape. "Ethan!" Maya crawled to him, hands shaking. Fresh blood poured from his shoulder. "No, no, no." His eyes fluttered open. "Told you. Everything hurts. Don't you dare die on me. Wouldn't dream of it." He coughed. "But we need to move before they regroup or the cops arrive. You can barely stand. Then you'll have to be my legs." He gripped her hand. "Maya, if the police take me into custody, James will have me killed before sunrise. I need time to expose him. Gather proof. Where do we go? I have a safe house. Off the grid. No one knows about it except me." He struggled to sit up. "But I need you to come with me." "Why me?" "Because you're the only person in this city who has no reason to betray me." His eyes burned into hers. "And because I'm not letting you out of my sight. You saved my life twice tonight." The sirens grew louder. Maya made another impossible choice. She grabbed her medical kit, helped Ethan to his feet, and they disappeared down the fire escape into the rain. They stole a car from a parking garage. Maya drove while Ethan bled in the passenger seat, giving directions through gritted teeth. The safe house was an hour north, hidden in woods outside the city. It was a cabin, beautiful and isolated. Inside was luxury mixed with survival gear. Generator power, satellite internet, supplies for weeks. Maya got Ethan onto the couch, assessed the new wound. "The bullet's still in there. Can you get it out?" "I'm not a surgeon. But you're all I have." He looked at her with complete trust. "I believe in you, Maya." Those words broke something in her. When was the last time anyone believed in her? She sterilized her tools, gave him whiskey since they had no anesthesia, and began. Ethan never screamed. He held her free hand, watched her face while she worked, finding the bullet, extracting it, stitching him closed. When it was done, they were both shaking. "You're incredible," he whispered. "You're insane." But she smiled despite everything. "What now?" "Now we prove James is a thief and a murderer." Ethan pulled out a laptop from a hidden compartment. "I've been documenting everything for months. Offshore accounts, falsified reports, all of it. But I need to access the company servers remotely without being traced." "How long will that take?" 3, maybe 4 days. Maya looked at the windows, at the darkness pressing against the glass. "They'll be looking for us." "Yes." Ethan's expression hardened. "James will use every resource. Private investigators, corrupt cops, maybe worse." "Why did you trust him?" "Because he was my friend." Pain flickered across his face, deeper than any bullet wound. "We built the company together. He was at my parents' funeral. I was the best man at his wedding. And he's been stealing from me, from our employees, from our clients for 3 years." Maya sat beside him. "I understand betrayal. My roommate was my best friend since freshman year. We shared everything." Bitterness crept into her voice. "Except integrity." They sat in silence. Two wounded people in a cabin at the edge of the world. Then Ethan's hand found hers. "Maya, when this is over, when James is in prison and I have my company back, I want to help you. New school, clean slate, whatever you need." "Why?" Because you jumped off a pier into my life and nothing's been the same since. He smiled, tired but genuine. Because you're fierce and brilliant, and you deserve every chance you were denied. Maya felt tears threatening. I don't even know you. Then get to know me. His thumb traced circles on her palm. We have 4 days. Outside, headlights cut through the trees. Ethan's body went rigid. They found us. Maya killed the lights. Ethan grabbed his laptop, stumbling toward the hidden basement door. They barely made it down before footsteps thundered overhead. The basement was concrete and cold, lit by emergency lights. Ethan's face was gray with pain and blood loss. There's a tunnel, he whispered. Leads to the garage. We can get out. Glass shattered above them. Men shouting. Searching. They moved through the tunnel, Ethan leaning heavily on Maya. Her heart hammered against her ribs. In the garage was a motorcycle, black and sleek. You know how to ride? Ethan asked. No. Then hold on tight. They roared into the night, headlights off, navigating by moonlight. Maya's arms wrapped around Ethan's waist, feeling his heartbeat against her palms, strong despite everything. Behind them, engines roared to life. They're following, Maya shouted over the wind. Ethan didn't answer. He just drove faster, weaving through back roads, taking turns that made her stomach drop. A bullet sparked off the pavement beside them. Ethan. I know. His voice was tight. There's another safe house. 40 minutes south. But Maya, I need to tell you something. Now? Especially now. He took a breath. James isn't just embezzling. He's selling our cybersecurity protocols to hostile governments. The technology that protects banks, hospitals, power grids. He's making billions by creating vulnerabilities. Maya's blood went cold. How many people could die? Thousands. Maybe more. Another bullet. Closer this time. Ethan swerved, nearly losing control. Maya felt him weaken against her, his body giving out. You're bleeding again. I'm fine. You're not. She saw blood darkening his jacket. Ethan, pull over. Let me drive. You don't know how. Then teach me. Fast. He did. In 2 minutes on the side of a dark road with killers closing in, Ethan Cross taught Maya Chen how to ride a motorcycle. Her hands shook on the throttle. Trust yourself, he said, climbing on behind her, arms weak around her waist. Like I trust you. Maya drove. Not as fast as Ethan, but steadier. She felt him slump against her back, felt his breath shallow against her neck. Stay with me, she whispered. Please stay with me. Not going anywhere. His voice was fading. You're stuck with me now. The second safe house was a boathouse on a lake. Maya half-carried Ethan inside, laid him on the floor, ripped open his jacket. The wound had reopened. Blood everywhere. I need supplies. Real medical supplies. Under the floorboards. Ethan's eyes were closing. Northeast corner. She found them. A full trauma kit. 4 fluids. Antibiotics. Someone had prepared for emergencies. Maya worked through the night. 4 line in his arm. Wound cleaned and restitched. She gave him every antibiotic she dared, monitored his vitals, refused to let him slip away. Dawn broke over the lake, golden and merciless. Ethan's eyes opened. You're still here. Where else would I be? Maya's voice was raw from exhaustion. Smart people would have run. He reached up, touched her face. Taken the money in the lockbox. Disappeared. There's money in the lockbox? 200,000. Cash. His smile was weak. Emergency fund. Maya should have been shocked. Instead, she felt nothing but relief that he was alive. I don't want your money, Ethan. What do you want? The question hung between them. Maya looked at this man she'd known for 2 days. This stranger who'd taken a bullet for her. This broken person who somehow made her want to live again. I want the truth, she said. About everything. Ethan sat up slowly, wincing. Then asked. Did you know? Before that night at the pier. Did you know I'd be there? His expression shifted. Something like guilt. Maya. Did you? Her voice hardened. I saw you. Earlier that day. Outside the university. He couldn't meet her eyes. I'd been investigating James, following his connections. Your roommate, she was dating one of his associates. I saw them together. Saw her steal your ID. Maya's world tilted. You knew. I knew you were innocent. I tried to warn the dean, but by then you were already expelled. I followed you to the pier because I recognized your face from the student files I'd accessed. The words tumbled out. I didn't plan to get shot. I didn't plan any of this. But yes, I knew who you were before you saved my life. So this was all what? Convenience? You needed a disposable nurse? No. Ethan grabbed her hand, desperate. Maya, listen to me. I was going to help you either way. Anonymous donation to get you reinstated, clear your name. But then I got shot, and you were there, and everything changed. Changed how? Because you chose to save me even when you wanted to die. Because you're brave and brilliant and you stayed when anyone else would have run. His grip tightened. Because I'm falling in love with you, and I don't know how to stop. The confession hung in the air between them. Maya pulled her hand away. You lied to me. I omitted. There's a difference. Not to me. She stood, backing away. I trusted you, Ethan. I risked everything. And I'd die for you. He stood too, swaying. Maya, please. Whatever I did wrong, we can fix it. Just don't leave. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Against her better judgment, Maya answered. Hello, Maya. The voice was smooth, cultured. My name is James Thornton. I believe you've been keeping something that belongs to me. Maya's blood froze. She looked at Ethan, saw his face go white. How did you get this number? I have resources you can't imagine. James laughed. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to bring Ethan to the Old Cross Technologies warehouse on 5th Street. Come alone. If you bring police, Ethan dies. If you run, your family in Chinatown dies. I have people watching your parents' restaurant right now. You're bluffing. Your mother's wearing a blue apron. Your father just burned the dumplings. Should I have my men say hello? Maya's hands shook. What do you want? An exchange. Ethan's silence for your family's safety. His voice turned cold. You have 2 hours. Come alone, or everyone you love dies screaming. The line went dead. Maya looked at Ethan. At this man who'd lied to her. Who'd dragged her into a nightmare. Who'd also saved her life and made her want to live again. I have to go, she said. It's a trap. I know. She grabbed her jacket. But he has my parents. Maya, listen to me. James won't let any of us live. The moment you walk in there. Then I'll die knowing I tried to save them. She met his eyes. Like you tried to save me. Understanding passed between them. And something deeper. Then we go together, Ethan said. He said come alone. I don't care what he said. Ethan pulled her close, pressed his forehead to hers. I just found you. I'm not losing you to that monster. You barely found me at all. You've been lying since the beginning. One lie of omission. Against every truth I've told you since. His hands cupped her face. Maya, I see you. The real you. The fierce, brilliant woman who saves dying strangers and throws scalpels at armed men. That's not a lie. She wanted to stay angry. Wanted to push him away. Instead, she kissed him. It was desperate and fierce and tasted like blood and rain and everything they'd survived together. When they broke apart, both were shaking. We're going to die, aren't we? Maya whispered. Probably. Ethan smiled against her lips. But at least we'll die together. They had 2 hours to plan the impossible. The warehouse loomed against the gray sky, abandoned and rotting. Maya parked the stolen car 2 blocks away. Ethan checked the gun he'd taken from the boathouse. 6 bullets. Not nearly enough. Remember the plan, he said. I go in first. Keep him talking. You come through the south entrance. Maya's voice was steady despite her fear. Signal when you've found my parents. And if I can't find them? Then we improvise. Ethan caught her hand. Maya, if this goes wrong. It won't. If it does. His eyes were fierce. Run. Don't look back. The evidence is uploaded to the cloud. Password is your birthday. Clear my name and destroy James. Ethan. Promise me. She couldn't. Instead, she kissed him one last time, memorizing the taste of him, the feel of his hands in her hair. I love you, she whispered against his mouth. Say it again after we survive. He smiled. I want to hear it when we're not about to die. Maya walked into the warehouse alone. Inside was cavernous, lit by grimy windows. James Thornton stood in the center, expensive suit immaculate, smile predatory. Around him, 6 armed men. And tied to chairs against the far wall, her parents. Maya. Her mother's scream echoed through the space. Let them go, Maya said, stopping 20 feet from James. I brought what you wanted. Did you? James tilted his head. Where's Ethan? Bleeding out in a boathouse 40 miles from here. You shot him, remember? I shot at him. My men are less precise than I'd like. He gestured, and one of the gunmen pressed a weapon to her father's head. Where is he, Maya? Don't make me ask twice. He's dead. The lie came easily. Died an hour ago. Blood loss. James studied her face. Then he laughed. You're good. Almost had me convinced. He pulled out his phone, turned it toward her. The screen showed thermal imaging. The south side of the warehouse. A heat signature moving through the shadows. Ethan. Come out, old friend, James called. Or Maya's father gets a bullet in his brain. Ethan stepped into the light, gun raised, aimed at James. Let them go. No. James's smile widened. I don't think I will. See, this worked out better than I planned. Now I get to kill all of you, burn down this warehouse, and blame it on a tragic murder-suicide. The mentally unstable Ethan Cross, driven mad by betrayal, kills his new girlfriend and her family before turning the gun on himself. The evidence is already uploaded, Ethan said. FBI has copies. It's over, James. Is it? James pulled out a tablet, showed them footage. Federal agents, handcuffed, being loaded into unmarked vans. I own people at every level, Ethan. You really think the FBI scares me? I've been planning this for years. Maya felt hope dying in her chest. Ethan's hand trembled on the gun. Why? We were brothers. Because you never saw me. The mask slipped from James's face, revealing something poisonous underneath. Perfect Ethan Cross. Genius programmer. Billionaire at 30. Everyone loved you. Investors, employees, the press. And me? I was just your faithful partner. The sidekick. The best man at your wedding to a woman who looked at me like furniture. Sarah loved you like family. I didn't want family. James's voice turned vicious. I wanted what you had. The recognition. The power. The money. So I took it. Slowly, carefully, one offshore account at a time. And it felt good, Ethan. Watching you smile and shake hands while I bled your company dry. You killed Sarah. Ethan's voice broke. The car accident. That wasn't random, was it? Maya's heart stopped. Ethan had never mentioned a wife. She figured it out. James shrugged. Found the discrepancies in the accounts. Was going to tell you. I couldn't allow that. Ethan's gun never wavered, but tears streamed down his face. You murdered my wife. I eliminated a problem. James nodded to his men. Like I'm about to eliminate you. Everything happened at once. The gunmen raised their weapons. Ethan fired, taking down 2. Maya ran toward her parents. Another shot rang out. Ethan stumbled, blood blooming on his chest. His 3rd wound. No! Maya screamed. But Ethan didn't fall. He fired again, until his gun clicked empty. 4 men down. 2 still standing. James had a gun now, aimed at Maya. Stop, or she dies. Ethan froze. That's better. James smiled. You always were predictable. Love makes you weak. No. Ethan stepped forward, placing himself between James and Maya. Love makes me strong enough to do this. He lunged. The gun fired. Blood sprayed. Ethan crashed into James, taking them both down. They rolled across the concrete, fighting for the weapon. Maya grabbed a piece of rebar from the floor, swung it at the last gunman's head. He dropped. She ran to her parents, cutting their bonds with a fallen knife. Go, she shouted. Run. Her father hesitated. Maya. Now. They fled. Behind her, Ethan and James were still fighting. Both bleeding, both desperate. The gun skittered across the floor. Maya grabbed it. Stop. Her voice cut through the chaos. Both men froze. Ethan was on top, hands around James's throat. James had a knife pressed to Ethan's stomach. Let him go, James. Or what? You'll shoot me? James laughed, even as Ethan choked him. You're a nursing student. You save lives. You don't take them. Maya's hands shook on the gun. He was right. She'd never killed anything. Never wanted to. Maya. Ethan's voice was weak. Do it. End this. I can't. You have to. Blood poured from his wounds. He'll never stop. He'll hunt you forever. James's smile turned triumphant. Listen to him. He's dying anyway. Why dirty your hands? Maya looked at Ethan. At the man who'd lied to her, saved her, loved her. At the monster who'd murdered his wife, destroyed his company, threatened her family. She made her choice. The gun fired. But not at James. Maya shot the rusty chain holding the massive industrial light above them. It crashed down, barely missing Ethan as he rolled away. James wasn't fast enough. The light hit him with a sickening crunch. He went still. Sirens wailed outside. Real police this time, summoned by her parents' 911 call. Maya dropped the gun, ran to Ethan. He was barely conscious, 3 gunshot wounds bleeding out. "Stay with me." She pressed her hands to the worst wound. "Please, Ethan. Stay." "Did we win?" His smile was weak. "We won." Tears poured down her face. "We won, so you have to stay. You have to tell me about Sarah. About everything you haven't said. You promised me truth. Truth is I love you." His hand found hers, slick with blood. "Truth is you saved me in every way a person can be saved. Then let me save you one more time." Paramedics flooded in. They pulled Maya away from Ethan, loaded him onto a gurney. She tried to follow, but a police officer held her back. "Miss, you need to come with us. There are questions." "I'm not leaving him." "Maya." Ethan's voice, weak but clear. "Go. Answer their questions. Clear both our names." He smiled. "I'll wait for you. However long it takes." They wheeled him away. Maya stood in the warehouse, covered in blood, surrounded by bodies and broken things. Police officers read her rights while paramedics checked her for injuries. Through the chaos, she saw her parents. Safe. Alive. Watching her with tears and confusion and something like pride. She'd saved them. Saved Ethan. Saved herself. But at what cost? 3 months later. Maya stood outside the hospital room, hand on the door, heart hammering. She'd been cleared of all charges 2 weeks ago. Self-defense. Protective act. Heroic, they called her. She didn't feel heroic. Inside that room was Ethan Cross. Alive, but changed. 3 surgeries. Months of physical therapy still ahead. And she hadn't seen him since that day in the warehouse. The police had kept them separated during the investigation. By the time she was cleared, Ethan had requested no visitors. Not even her. Maya had respected that. Given him space. But now her nursing license had been reinstated, her record cleared. The university had offered her a full scholarship to return. She'd accepted. Started classes last week. But she couldn't move forward without knowing. The door opened before she could knock. Ethan stood there, leaner than before, a cane in his left hand, scars visible at his collar. But his eyes were the same. Whiskey in lamplight. "You came," he said softly. "You asked me to." She held up the letter he'd sent. "You said we needed to talk." "We do." He stepped back, let her enter. The private room was filled with flowers, cards, evidence of a world that had forgiven him. James's crimes had been exposed. Cross Technologies was being rebuilt under new leadership. Ethan was a hero now too. But he looked haunted. "I'm sorry," he said, the moment the door closed. "For keeping you away. For everything. Why did you?" Maya's voice was stronger than she felt. "I waited, Ethan. Every day, I waited for you to call. Because I'm poison." The words came out raw. "Everyone who gets close to me ends up hurt or dead. Sarah. You. Your parents almost. That wasn't your fault. Wasn't it?" He leaned heavily on the cane. "I brought James into my life. I trusted him. I married Sarah and made her a target. I dragged you into hell because I was too selfish to die alone. You didn't drag me. I chose. You chose because you were suicidal and I manipulated that." His voice broke. "I saw you at that pier, Maya, and part of me thought, here's someone desperate enough to help. That's who I am. That's what I do." Maya stepped closer. "You want to know what I think?" "Probably not. I think you're scared. She took his free hand. I think you lost Sarah and blamed yourself. Lost James and blamed yourself. Got shot 3 times and still blame yourself. But Ethan, you don't get to decide what I choose or why I choose it. Maya. I chose to save you because I saw something worth saving. I chose to stay because you made me want to live again. I chose to love you. She cupped his face. And yes, you lied about knowing who I was. Yes, you're damaged and complicated and probably going to make mistakes. But so am I. We're both broken people who found each other in the dark. Tears streamed down his face. I don't deserve you. Maybe not. She smiled. But you're stuck with me anyway. What if I hurt you again? Then we'll deal with it. Together. She pulled him close, careful of his wounds. I'm not Sarah, Ethan. I'm not some innocent bystander. I threw a scalpel at an armed man. I shot a chain to drop a light on your psychotic business partner. I can handle whatever comes next. He laughed through his tears. You're terrifying. I learned from the best. They stood there, holding each other in a hospital room that smelled like antiseptic and second chances. I got you something, Ethan said, pulling back. He reached into his pocket, pulled out an envelope. Open it. Inside was a letter. From the dean of her university. I don't understand. Keep reading. It was an offer. Not just reinstatement, but a full scholarship, for years, all expenses paid, plus a stipend. Guaranteed placement in their top graduate program. Ethan, this is too much. It's not from me. He smiled. Well, not directly. It's from the Sarah Cross Memorial Foundation. For students who've been wrongly accused. I thought, who better to run it than someone who knows exactly what that feels like? Maya looked at him. At this man who'd lost everything and was trying to rebuild something good from the ashes. You named it after her. She would have liked you. His voice was soft. She would have loved how fierce you are. How brave. I'm not brave. I'm terrified. Of what? Of how much I love you. The admission felt like jumping off that pier all over again. Of losing you. Of this not being real. Ethan set down his cane, took both her hands. Maya Chen, I was bleeding out on a pier when I met you. You could have let me die. Should have let me die. But you didn't. You chose to save a stranger, and somehow, you saved yourself too. We saved each other. Yes. He pulled her close. And I want to keep doing that. Every day. For as long as you'll let me. That sounds like a proposal, Mr. Cross. It's not. He kissed her softly. Not yet. First, I want to watch you finish school. Start your foundation. Become the incredible nurse I know you'll be. I want to earn you, Maya. Not just survive with you. And then? Then I'll ask you properly. His smile was real this time, reaching his eyes. With a ring and everything. I'll probably say yes. Probably. She laughed. Definitely. But you're right. Let's earn this. Build something real, not just born from trauma and blood. Partners? Partners. 6 months later, Maya graduated top of her class. Ethan was in the front row, standing without his cane, applauding louder than anyone. A year after that, the Sarah Cross Memorial Foundation funded its 100th scholarship. 2 years after the pier, Ethan proposed on the anniversary of the night they met. Maya said yes before he finished asking. They married in a small ceremony by the lake, at the boathouse where she'd saved his life the second time. No huge guest list. Just her parents, a handful of friends, and each other. On their wedding night, Maya stood on the balcony, looking at the water. Ethan came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist. "Regrets?" he asked. "None." She leaned back into him. "You? Only that I didn't find you sooner. You found me exactly when you were supposed to." She turned in his arms. "We were both drowning, Ethan. We just learned to swim together." He kissed her as stars reflected on the dark water. Two broken people who'd found wholeness in each other. Two lives saved on a rainy pier 3 years ago. Sometimes the best love stories begin at the edge of the world. Sometimes saving a stranger means saving yourself. And sometimes, the person you least expect becomes the one you can't live without. Maya and Ethan had been given a second chance at life. They weren't going to waste a single moment of it. The end.